Hey y'all, welcome to Jourdan's craft class. Today we're going to be making a wreath out of a pizza pan. Hope y'all are excited. First, we're going to go over all of our materials, what I have with me. And the good thing is I got all of this stuff at Dollar Tree. So this is easy things you can go get, a fun, easy, cheap craft you can do alone or with your family or friends. So first we've got our pizza pan. And then I used a placemat. You can use placemat, fabric, anything you want that's going to be about the same size as this pizza pan. I also got some rope so we can add a little bit more to our wreath. And I've got these cute little bows. And I found these little glittery leaves that I'm also going to add to it. Other than those materials, I've got my scissors, my pen, and I'm going to use a hot glue gun. Just because I'd rather use that than glue sticks. I know it's going to hold up better. So what we're going to do is I am actually going to use not the front of the pizza pan, but the back side. So I'm going to lay my pan down and I'm going to get whatever design I'm going to add to it. So like I said, this is just a placemat that I was able to find. If you have some type of fabric that you like, you can also use that. Anything that is going to be in a circle is going to work good for you. So I'm going to lay my placemat down and try to get it as even as possible. And I'm going to use an ink pen and I'm just going to draw around what would be the pizza pan. And like I said, I am using the bottom of the pan, so it's the smaller circle. So I'm going to draw my line around. Try to keep it even as I go. And what I'm doing is I'm just checking to make sure I've got my placemat over my circle. And if we get a little bit of ink pen on where the pan would be, that's why I like to have my rope. In case we get a little bit on there, we'll be able to cover it up. All right, moving to the other side. Again, I'm just checking to make sure I've got it covering up the pan. I can always go back and trim it down later if I need to. Hope y'all are doing good today. Hope you're excited about this. I know this is one of my favorite little crafts to do. It's a fun way we can decorate around the house, and you can do it for, like I said, any fabrics. You can do it based off season, anything you find that you really like. So before I cut, I don't know if you can see, but I've lightly got a circle around on both sides, and you can see that's where I'm going to cut. So I've got my scissors. And I'm going to cut around that circle. I'm going to cut right on the outside of the line, and then I can trim down if I need to. So this is, like I said, a fun, easy craft you can do it alone, you can do it with your friends or family, and pretty much about any school age kid would be able to do this as well. So if you're looking for something to do when the kids or the grandkids come over, this is something you can do. Take them to Dollar Tree, let them pick out their favorite design, their favorite placemat or fabric, and go ahead and make them a nice wreath that they can hang up. Make sure you've got some good scissors. That's important. These aren't the best, but we're going to make it work. All right. I'm going to place these off to the side. We're not going to need those anymore. You can see it doesn't even have to be a perfect circle. We can go in and even it out, and the top is going to be cut off just a tiny bit for the pan, but we're going to be able to fix it. So what I'm going to do, you can see it's not glued down yet, but you can see where I've got it. And now I'm going to be able to go up and clean up these edges where I cut it a little too wide. Just to have that extra space, I'll be able to clean that up. I'm going to go ahead and plug in my glue gun so that it can get warming up and be ready to go whenever we need it. Probably should have done it a little earlier, but that's all right too. All right, so what I'm going to do is just go along these edges and trim up where I think we can cut off a little bit. So I see where my line is, just cleaning it up a little bit. And again, it doesn't have to be completely straight. That's why we've got that rope, so we can cover up if it's a little jagged or anything like that. All right. Gonna move to my other side. And I'm just trying to make sure it's lined up evenly in the middle of my pan. I'm gonna cut a little bit off of this side. I'm gonna fix this. It got a little jagged edge there. We're gonna get fixed. All right, let me see what we're working with now. I've still got quite a bit of overhang over here. I'm gonna cut this part off. Let me check it again. All right, and that's really all you have to do is just lay it down, measure it. And when you need to cut a little bit more off, just cut a little bit more till it gets to that right size for you. And the good thing about crafting is every single one can be unique. So if you want it to hang over a little bit more, you can let it hang over a little bit more. And you don't have to use a rope if you don't want to. I just like to add that to it. If you had some yarn or ribbon or anything like that, you can add to it if you'd like, just to add a little bit more to it, give it a little more texture. All right, after I get this piece cut, I'm gonna check one more time. All right, so you can see I've got it pretty much cut right about the right size there. It's not glued down yet, but you can see it's about the right size. All right, let's see if our glue gun is warm yet. We're gonna let it warm up a little bit more. Needs a little bit more time. Be careful when you are using your glue gun that you don't burn yourself or you have any glue oozing out the bottom. While we're waiting on that, I'm gonna go ahead and take my cute little bows. I'm gonna untwist them from the package. And I also found these at Dollar Tree and I think they are super cute. And we're gonna be able to add that to the top of our wreath. And I'm just gonna take that backside off. These are actually stapled. They're not gonna come undone. So that's really good. I'm only gonna use one of these. So I'm gonna leave the other one in the pack. I'm also going to, these little glittery leaves, these came on a nice little hook. You can see on the back. So you could just hook them to your pan if you wanted to do that, but I'll probably glue mine down just to be safe. Now I'm going to be covered in glitter, but that's all right. All right. Now I've got, like I said earlier, this decorative nautical rope. I'm going to open up, and one pack should be plenty for this. We'll probably have some left over. And you can see it's just some rope that we'll be able to add around the outside to cover up those jagged lines that we had. So let's check this glue gun. All right, so I'm just gonna go around the outside of my placemat, putting glue all across the back so we can make sure it's nice and stuck down. And of course, I'm gonna run out of a glue stick, so we're gonna add us another one. There's glitter all over the back of my placemat now, so make sure you're in an area where it's okay for glitter to go. All right, so that's probably good. And I've got the glue on the back. Now I'm just gonna line it up on my pizza pan. I'm gonna stand up so I can get a better view of it. Make sure I've got it lined up nice and straight. And I'm going to push it down. And I like to hold it down just a little bit, make sure it's nice and glued down. If you need to go back and add a little bit more glue, you can. And you can see I've got some overhang on mine too, but that is perfectly fine. I'm gonna, now that I've got it down and secured, I'm gonna go back and cut a little bit more off, but I'm gonna add some more glue to begin with. And I'm just putting this right on the back of that pan. I'm gonna press it down, get rid of all these extra little glue strings. I'm gonna go around the edges, make sure I've got them nice and secure so it's not gonna fall off. This side, I probably won't have to cut it any. It looks pretty good. All right, and we'll go back and add some more if we need to. Let's see. I'm gonna cut, so you can see now what I've got. I've got it's glued down, and you can see my lines are not quite straight at all, but we're gonna be able to fix that. I'm gonna go back along here, and where I drew that line, I'll be able to cut a little bit more off. This must be the part of the placemat where the tag is. It's giving me a hard time to cut. We'll go from the other side. And you might be able to use something like an X-Acto knife at home. That might be a little easier to cut for you if you need to. I'm just gonna fix up that little edge a little bit. And I'm gonna, where it's straight and it's kind of like a corner right there, I'm gonna round that out a little bit just to make it look a little bit better on my pan. Like I said, my scissors aren't the best, but y'all probably have better scissors at home. All right, I think I just got about one more spot we're gonna clear up here. We had quite a bit of overhang down here. There we go. All right, so you can see we've got our placemat glued down, or your fabric, whatever it is you wanted to glue down. Now I'm just gonna take my rope and I'm just gonna lay it out to begin with so I can see kind of where to put it. And you have so many options with this. There's a little indentation right here. You could do it around that indentation if you wanted to. You could do it across the top up here around the edge. That's where I'm gonna do mine, is around the edge of my placemat. You could do it around here and around the top. You know, you've got so many options. This just adds a little bit of texture here to it. Like I said, you can do it with fabric, lace, whatever it is you want to do it with. But I'm gonna start, I'm gonna take this little plastic piece off first, so we don't have to worry about that coming off anytime. There's a little plastic piece at the end of the rope. All right. So that little piece of tape is off, and I'm gonna start by just gluing mine down right here at the top of my pan. So I'm gonna get my glue and just make a little spot right there. And I'm gonna press that rope down for just a little bit, make sure it's good and secure before we move on. I had some glue drop off, so I'm gonna move it out of the side so we're not stuck to everything. And then I'm just gonna get my glue and go right along the edge of this placemat right here to glue this rope down. I'm gonna turn it this way since I've got my glue gun over here. And it doesn't have to be all the way around. I'm just gonna put a little dot every now and then so that we can make sure it's gonna stay down on the wreath for us. And again, you can do it wherever you would like for it to go. So it can go around the bottom side or around the wider circle, or go around on the placemat, just wherever you'd like to put it. Could even do it a couple times around. That would look really cool. Have 2 different layers of it around. And we'll go back at the end and clean up all these little glue strings that we've got. Get those out of the way. We don't have to worry about that right now. Oh, be careful, it's hot. Guess that's why they call it a hot glue gun. So maybe if you're doing this with little kids, like we talked about earlier, you might want to do the gluing for them, or glue it and let them squeeze out a little bit of glue and you hold it down. You can see we're going to have plenty of rope left over, which is good because we'll use that rope to be able to make us a little hanger. I'm just making sure that rope is nice and secure. We're almost back to the beginning. You could have made it around twice with just this one pack of rope. So I'm almost back to the beginning. You can see I've got it around, and before I glue this last piece down, I'm going to go ahead and cut it with the scissors so that I don't have to worry about cutting after it's glued down. Now, hopefully these scissors are going to cut it for me. Might have to go back and glue the last bit a little bit more. And if your ends look a little frayed here, well, I'm going to cover mine up with a bow. So if the end isn't the prettiest, we'll be able to get that covered up. All right, well, that was a pretty even cut there. So now I'm just going to go ahead and glue down that last piece. All right, I like to make sure there's a lot of glue here at the end, just to make sure it's going to stay down. So I'm going to hold that down, and then I'm just going to kind of go around the whole thing, push it down, make sure it's nice and secure. I've got a little piece of something on mine here. Let's see if I can cut it off. All right. So we've got that on there. So you can see I've got my rope all the way around. That just adds a little bit more to it. And I'm going to go ahead and clean up a few of these little glue strings, get them out of the way before I start anything else. And you'll probably be finding these glue strings for a while, even after you're done. It seems like hot glue gets everywhere. All right. I'm going to go ahead and cut the piece for my handle since I've got it out. So what I'm going to do with mine is I'm going to have a handle across the back like this. So I think that looks like a good size for me. So I'm just going to hold that right there, and I see how long I need to cut it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my rope. Again, you might have something that'll cut the rope a little better, but you can see scissors do work. We can make it work even with our scissors. And all I'm going to do is just glue 2 dots across the back. Make sure you've got it right side up. I'm going to do two dots here and here, and I'm just going to push the rope down onto it. So I'm going to find the center. All right, so the center of my pan is here. I'm going to put a glue dot on each side and there. And I'm going to get my rope and push down, and I'm going to hold these for a while because we want this to be nice and secure, since this is what's going to be holding up our wreath when we've got it hanging up. I'm going to go ahead and pull off these strings, and I am going to add an extra dot of glue down here just to hold these two together, just to have a little bit more secure there. So I'm going to lift up those ends. Well, there we go. Add a little bit of glue there. Again, this doesn't have to look super nice. Nobody's going to see this part. And I'm just going to push those ends down. Be careful not to burn your hands here. Make it a little bit more secure for us. That handle will stay on there very well for us. And I've got me a nice glue string hanging around here. I'm going to go ahead and move that off to the side. So you see we've got this beautiful little handle here of rope, and you can leave it just like this if you wanted. That's what I was talking about earlier, the beauty of crafting. You can make it whatever you want it to be. So if you wanted it just like this would be really cool. Since I got this cute little bow, I'm going to add me a little bow to the top. And I think I'm going to, hold on, I got a piece that we cut left on there. All right, I'm going to add mine. I think I'm going to put it right here at the top. I think we'll put it right there at the top. So that's where I'm going to add my bow. And if you made your own bow, that'd be really cool. You could add that to the top. So let me see the best place to glue mine. I think I'm going to put a little dab of glue right where I put the ends of the rope meeting together. So I'm going to put some glue on top of the rope, and then I'm also going to put it down right below the rope on the placemat, just to make sure we've got that bow nice and glued down. And I'm just going to hold that bow down for a couple seconds. Make sure it's nice and glued down. And I think that changes it completely, adding a little bow to it. So again, you can stop right here. You can add a little bit more. I found these little leaves, so I think I'm going to just add a little bit more. It makes it look a little bit more fall if I add these. So, and like I said, these clip on, so I guess you could find a way really to clip them onto the bottom if you wanted to, but I'm just going to go ahead and glue mine on. And I've got two, so I think I'm going to do one on each side here. So let me see the best way I can glue these down. I think, because I don't want to cover up all my words. Let me see, I might be able to get one on each side. Yeah, and not have to cover up any of my words. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue right across the back of where that little clip is. And I'm just going to place it right beside the rope, and then it won't cover up any of my words. Again, being careful with that hot glue gun. And I'm going to place it right beside that rope. And I just like the color of these leaves. I think they make it look a little more like fall, which is always nice. So I'm holding it down a little bit. Looks like these are going to move a little bit, but the clip is glued down. So that is nice and secure. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I think I like it about right here. That looks pretty even. So I'm going to go ahead and add my glue. I'm going to put that right along the edge of my rope. That looks pretty even, not going to cover up any of the words. And I'm just going to hold it down. Like I said earlier, make sure it's nice and secure. And I would let it dry for a while before you hang it up, just to make sure that glue, it might be cooled off, but we want to make sure it's nice and secure. We don't want anything falling off after you've got it done. So I'm just going to go back along and clean up all these little glue strings. I'm sure you've got them too. And make sure there's not any hanging across the front of my wreath or along the sides. Make sure we get it nice and pretty for everybody to see when they come over. All right, and you can see I have this, I don't want to hold it up too long since we just glued it down, but I have this nice little wreath that started with a pizza pan, and like I said, it all came from Dollar Tree. So, and you have so many possibilities you can do with these pans. You can get any type of fabric you like, just get a pizza pan and some cute little decorations, and you'll be able to have you a nice little wreath. We'll hang it on our door for everybody to see. And I hope y'all enjoyed this, and you're going to go do it with your family, your friends, whoever it is, and stay tuned for more crafts in the future. Bye.